Good morning and welcome to Center for Spiritual Living St. George. We're delighted to have you with us here today. We are an open and loving and an all-inclusive spiritual community that invites everyone here who decides to think creatively and live a deeply spiritual life. At this time, I'd like to open service with Cheryl. She'll be leading us in with song. So take it away, Cheryl.
Thank you, Chris. Good morning, everyone. We're going to go ahead and just move into the contemplative part of service just to prepare our hearts and minds for the message that is coming. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth. And who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth. And who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth. And who we are and all we do is a blessing to the world. I would like to introduce Stephanie Starrett, one of our practitioners, and she is going to lead our invocation today.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. I invite you to just settle in and close your eyes or not. Doesn't matter. Just be still. As we come together in a great camaraderie of spirit, right here and right now, blessing this day, opening up our receptivity, our ability to listen and really understand the truth that is already present within each and every one of us. Right here, right now, this truth is available. The truth that will set you free is here, and right now. And so I bless this event today, this live stream of spirit talking to spirit, right here and right now. And I invite us all to speak the truth. For the truth is that good is my God, God is my good. And I invite us to listen to Dr. Linda respond to the beautiful words that will come forth this day to our own listening hearts. And so I release this prayer and open this meeting in the name of that good that is in each and every one of us, as together we say, and so it is.
Thank you so much, Star. And now we're going to have the words on screen. So if you are so inclined, feel free to sing along. Same words, same melody that we did just a minute ago. You are the heart. You are the heart. You are the hands. You are the voice of spirit on earth. And who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart. I am the heart. I am the hands. I am the voice of spirit on earth. And who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart. We are the heart. We are the hands. We are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are, and all we do is a blessing to the world, a blessing to the world. And now it is my pleasure to introduce another one of our beloved practitioners, Mary Klein, and she is going to read our Sacred Covenant today.
Good morning. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. In knowing that I am one with this life, I know that I am one with all of its blessed expressions, which include the presence of a new minister for my beloved spiritual community. Because I know that the highest purpose of my new ministry is to express God, I therefore know that my new minister reveals wholeness. I further know that my new minister is the fulfillment of that which we believe, for it is written, let us learn to draw divine substance down into our own lives, and as freely as it has been given to us, let us give it to others. Thus alone shall we be made whole. By Ernest Holmes. As I stand in agreement with my beloved community, I see my new minister revealed before me as growing the center in joy and prosperity. I now intend to experience my new minister in full cooperation and agreement with my community, knowing the truth about myself, for I live the presence and the law of God. I demonstrate wisdom through a mature understanding of the wholeness of life. I am accountable and willing to take full responsibility for my actions. I participate in support, the nurturance, and guidance of the community. I act from wholeness and congruence in thought, word, and action. I walk the talk. I embrace, at this time, express your own personal truth here. Give you a moment. I now accept the highest expression of a new minister into my life, knowing that they are revealed in a way that expresses God and serves the highest and greatest good for all who are touched by their presence. I am grateful. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you so much, Mary. I know we had some echo effect on that, and we will get that taken care of. I wanted to introduce our monthly theme, which is Unchained Spirituality. And this week, our focus is the truth and setting free. And as new thought practitioners, we know that there is one God, indestructible, absolute, pure love. Right? This one manifests itself in and through all creation. Science aligns believes that all people are individualizations of the one spirit. That's what we were seeing earlier. We were I am the part of the planet. From this truth, we know that we are all connected and cared for by this source, that it is happening within us, and that we experience it to really become conscious of it. So there's no charge that we need to become conscious around and throughout. And that's sort of what this song is. On the brink of this struggle, senseless in reality, open to all the possibilities, with the hope of a positive, turning long and so. I think the heart will have to be much too living by the the road lost in my when I call you to wake to the street. What you got to do is so much more than it seems. If you want to stop, know that you love it. It's so much more than it seems. With your book, the sky open your heart, close your eyes. Know that you love it. With your book, the sky open your heart, close your eyes. With your book, the sky open your heart, close your eyes. Know that you love it. Right now you love it. In this moment. For Center for Spiritual Living St. George. Welcome, Linda, and I will pass off to you today.
Well, now all of a sudden it sounds good. We're having technical problems. I guess it was with the bandwidth or something. So everyone, please be patient. And we do welcome Reverend Linda Rapon in. Cheryl, I'll let you go. I have no idea what was going on, but we couldn't hear you very well. So anyway, here's Reverend Linda. Hi there. Yeah, go ahead and talk.
Can we do a redo? I would like to hear Cheryl if they got the sound back.
I know I didn't do anything. Well, she's going to sing again.
Okay, great.
All right. Well, everybody, welcome Reverend Dr. Linda Rapon. It's my pleasure to have you here with us today. I will leave you be and let you get on to doing your talk.
Hi, St. George. It's great to be back with you again. I have to tell you, I have the best memories of the time when the launching pad was in St. George, and every trip I had to St. George, both in your spiritual community and in just hiking through the area, and Zion and Chris's house and all of that. I just have such great memories. And for those of you who've been around for a long time, you may remember that era. I suspect a bunch of you are actually new since then, because it's been a while. But I'm very happy to be back with you. I have really hold in my heart with you that covenant for a new minister. I could, as you were, although it was difficult to understand this morning, I heard it earlier this morning. Your calling in of your minister is so profound that I have no doubt that that person is already on their way. So I stand with you in knowing that. My talk this morning is The Truth Will Set You Free. And I kind of start with, well, what is truth? For me, ever since somebody coined the phrase alternate facts, that called into question what is actually true. Because it seems like there are many versions of what's true, and every story has different perspectives. You might not know this about me, but I was a journalism major in college, and ever since then, and that's been a while, I have followed multiple newspapers because I am as interested in the perspective and the slant that goes with each story as I am with the content of the story. And so I probably have 9 or 10 news outlets on my phone, and I will just like go from source to source to source following the same story, because it's so interesting to see how completely different in some cases the story is, depending on the perspective and the alternate facts or my slant on the facts. Makes it hard to actually trust what's true. We kind of need a different barometer for what's true. And then the other thing that goes with that in this talk title is what is free. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that because those of you who were online last week, Elisha Christopher did a fabulous job of expanding our understanding of what freedom is. And that really, I guess the simplest way to say that if you weren't on is he was rising us to a level of consciousness where we recognize that we are all one. We're all connected to each other. We are one human race. And if we elevate to that perspective, freedom means that everybody has to be free. That freedom is the opportunity for every single person or sentient being, depending on your perspective, on the planet to be able to live the highest expression of who they are, according to their own inner guidance. That's freedom. And that's what reaching for the truth, that kind of freedom is what we're seeking. The teacher Jesus said, "You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free." Which to me leads to the question again of how do I know what's true? Can I trust my inner guidance? I mean, that's the thing that we say in Science of Mind. It's like, well, how will I know? Well, go within, you'll know. And I feel like I need to say, just out of all of the inner work that's going on everywhere right now in relation to white supremacy, that our inner guidance might be colored by our life experiences to get us to what we consider to be the truth now. What if I turn within and my inner guidance is clouded by prejudice? It's clouded by somebody who taught me what they said was the truth, and I believed it, but it's actually was based on some alternate facts that might not be true. I'm not trying to confuse you. I think that each of us have to strip away our beliefs and really look hard at what is at the core of each belief. And this work, I've been engaged, as have many ministers in Science of Mind for the last few weeks on me, following the book study of Me and White Supremacy. And it's an opportunity every day to just peel away stories and history and belief systems to look more closely at where I'm carrying a story that is not the truth I want to be living. I'm pretty immersed in that these days. And I feel like the result of that inner work carries me for myself to a place where I can trust my inner guidance more. That story, that inner guidance, that is the the truth that we think of as the truth, it's not only our life experiences that bring us to that. Everything that's ever happened to us goes into the mix of the lens that we see the world through. But it's more than that even. I believe that it's right down in our deepest DNA. We carry the stories of our ancestors. We carry the lineage that we came through. If affects our very responses to life itself. This is as deeply buried as the learning we have now about the reptilian brain, and that deeply in the reptilian brain, going all the way back to our earliest ancestors on the planet, was that message of fight or flight or freeze. It's still there. We're still triggered in the same way that our ancestors hundreds and hundreds of thousands of years ago were impacted. That's reptilian brain carrying it through the DNA, through all of history. We are subject to that story. I want to tell you about a science experiment that illustrates this again. The experiment was that scientists put 5 monkeys in a cage. It's called the 5 monkeys experiment, if you want to research it some. And in the cage with the 5 monkeys, there was a ladder, and at the top of the ladder was a bunch of bananas. And so the monkeys in the cage, kind of play around, and then they begin to climb the ladder to get to the bananas. But every time one of the monkeys starts to climb the ladder, the rest of the monkeys get inundated with cold water. They just get cold water poured all over them. So it doesn't take them very long before they just automatically start to pull that ladder off, that monkey off the ladder and beat him up. Like, no, you can't go up there. So then the scientists remove one of the monkeys and replace it with a new monkey. No cold water, just when that monkey decides to climb the ladder, the other monkeys grab him and throw him on the ground and beat him up. I'm like, no. And then another monkey is removed and another monkey comes in. And this is repeated until all 5 monkeys that are in the cage were not present when the cold water happened. But in every time when a new monkey would enter the cage and start to climb the ladder, the other monkeys would grab him and throw him on the ground and beat him up. And finally the monkey's like, why are you doing that? He said, well, that's just the way we do things. That's how it is. That's how deeply the DNA burial is in us. It's a story. And at every level, that whether it was our parents, our grandparents, somewhere in our own, lived experience, something happens and we decide that that's how life is. And we're going to keep living that way, as that's how life is. I think probably one of the most profound teachings of science of mind that has impacted me, and there's very much about this teaching that has changed how I think and feel about the world. But there's a quote by Ernest Holmes that says, principle is not bound by precedent. And that rocked my world. The first time I heard it, it still rocks my world. Let me read you the whole quote from Ernest Holmes. It says, because we fail to realize that principle is not bound by precedent, we limit our faith to that which has already been accomplished, and few miracles result. When through intuition faith finds its proper place under divine law, there are no limitations, and what are called miraculous results follow. So the notion is that principle, which I would call first cause, God, source energy, the thing itself, principle is not inhibited or bound or constricted in any way by precedent. What is precedent? That's my history, my story, all of the things that I believe to be true, all the things that have happened before this. Source energy is not constricted by that. That means that my story is not limited to the story that I grew up believing. So I'm not my story. I'm not the story of what my health is or what everybody in my family's health has been. I'm not the story of my money. I'm not the story of my career. I'm not the story of my relationship. I'm not the story of all of the past stories that I have believed myself to be defined by. Those are constructs in my brain They're not the truth. So I kind of think of it as lowercase truth and capital T truth. The lowercase truth is the story that I keep telling. This is my truth. This is my story. And source energy principle is not bound by that. It's not holding that as the story. It is saying there's limitless possibility. Leave the story behind, open to a new miracle, a new way of being. The principle itself has imagined a future for us that is so much more magnificent than anything we have imagined. Our job, our work in life is to open to receive that, to know that and imagine that we ourselves are that limitless. We can have, do, and be what we choose at a very deep level within the freedom of all boats rising, of everyone having the opportunity to do, be, and have that which their soul desires and claims. So how do we free ourselves from our story? That is the work of the lifetime. The Little Prince, if you remember, said, "It is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye." I kind of think the Little Prince has it, that we free ourselves within our heart. Like that, going back to that question of how do I know what's true? When I strip away all of the stories and I'm willing to just sit in the presence of that wholeness of life itself, of God, my heart opens to what the truth is. And it may be very, very different than what my story has been. It's big work and it's courageous work. And I encourage you to take the time, item by item, in any area of your life. If the place you feel challenged in your life right now is relationship, then spend some time peeling away the story of relationship and begin to open to a new story showing up that's not based on your history, on what you were taught or what you think about yourself, but that is a divine idea that's seeking to be expressed now. It's like a blade of grass coming up through the dirt. It's like it's coming through. We just have to open to allow it full expression and to know what it is. But why do this? I think the why do this goes back to in order to be truly free, not bound by anxiety, not bound by a definition of who I am and who I can be and what I can be. Truly being free means that I am not triggered by other people's stuff, whether they're putting their stuff on me or they're just out there in the world living their stuff. I don't get angry when I'm in the mask or no mask conversation that seems to be so endless in the world right now. I don't get triggered by the people who believe or think differently than I do. I'm not struggling to make decisions. That the ways that I am bound up are the things that I want to release and be free. I want to just be able to confidently walk in the world, being who I am, doing the work I came here to do, and loving as much as I can in every moment. That's why. Why do this work? Because that is what we came here to do and be. And what's in our way is the story that we've told ourselves. The ways that, I can't even define them for you. I think you know your own story. The ways that we have kept ourselves from being free, from feeling free, from holding our very best as our reality. So how about we start? Let's go into prayer. And I just invite you to take whatever that story is for you into this prayer and allow it to be transformed now. So join with me in just turning within and recognizing that the infinite presence, the principle of life itself, of love itself, is really the only thing that is. It is in, around, through, and as each of us. In this very moment, it is the truth of my being. It is breathing me. And I know that that is not true for just me, that is true for each of us. That source energy is the breath coming in and going out, the very essence of life itself, in and through each of us. And so I speak my word for this time and place. May each of us open to that allowing of infinite spirit to fill us, to be in every cell of our body as light, as wholeness, as peace, as love. And so right here and now, I take the story of my own not enoughness, the story of what I can and can't be, the story of how much I deserve. And I just kick that story to the curb and go, done, done. I will not live that story as mine. I choose a new story. I choose to open to the infinite presence, to the possibility of that which I can't even imagine, to be absolutely free, to be absolutely fulfilled, sustained, held in the love of spirit. That is the truth I claim. I claim it for myself. I claim it for each person connected to this podcast today. I give thanks. I give thanks. I let it go. I let it be. And so it is.
Well, thank you, Reverend Linda. That was beautiful. And my goodness, everyone, I don't know what happened this morning. I think it was our bandwidth. We're now streaming live to Facebook and to YouTube. So there's a lot going on. And I apologize for Cheryl's song not coming through. So anyway, we'll just move forward. Just bear with us while we figure out all these things and learn new ways. And we might end up going back to the center and doing it from there. It seems to work better there when we're all scattered all over the place. But anyway, let's just go ahead and move forward with service. And in order for us to keep doing this, we do have to rely on contributions. So I would invite everyone to consciously contribute to our center. We are still up and running. We're meeting every week. We're doing all the things we need to do to keep us going. So as you'll see on the ticker on the bottom, it gives you the information as far as how to go ahead and give to us. So we so much appreciate it, and thank you. Now time for announcements. After service, we have our fellowship on Zoom. You can find that by going to our cslsg.org website. If you do it on your phone, you have to find the menu and look for events. If you do it on a computer, you just click on the events tab, and that will link you right into our meeting. We share fellowship. We talked about the talk this morning, and today I'm sure we're going to talk about the technical problems. But anyway, we won't bother you too much with that. So please join us for fellowship after service. Our community care circle is still up and running. If there are those of you who have loved ones or yourself that is in need of assistance, contact us at that 435-287-8384 number, and we will confidentially reach out to you and help you in any way that you need. Same with our prayer requests. Our practitioners are available if you call the center number. You can email at prayer@cslstgeorge.org or call the 435-287-8384 number and request prayer. So we've concluded service today, and again, we will be working on the reasons or trying to find the reason why that happened to us today. And let's just go ahead and you will say out loud our closing affirmation. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is in all that I do. I am it, I embrace it, and I share it. Just the way that it is and just the way it is becoming. Thank you, life. So everyone have a blessed and beautiful week. We'll see you next Sunday, hopefully with no technical issues. Our love goes out to you. Again, thank you, Linda. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Mary. And thank you, Star, for participating and helping us offer service here online on Facebook and YouTube. So have a blessed day.